Welcome back everyone. We are on our way to look at a car, which to be fair, if you're seeing this video, you know what I'm looking at buying. For those who know me already, you know I've got a Nissan Navara, which it expired last year, and I don't exactly know why yet. Potentially an engine, but we haven't got to the bottom of that yet. So I need something else that can tow cars around with, namely her MX-5, as well as mine, and some other bits I've got planned. So I needed to find something cheap that would get me by for a while, and this Volvo seems to be it. It's still got 6 months MOT, it's got a leaky rear main seal, which is a £13 part, but you have to take the gearbox out to replace it. So other than that, it looks alright. I think I could clean it up and sell it with the fixed rear main seal anyway, but it's got a good towing weight, so it should be good for me for a little bit, and we'll see if we can fix the truck or not. And then if the truck doesn't come back, I'll have to hang on to it, but we'll see. We'll see what that's like. I'm not going to film the seller's house because I don't want to dox them. So if I buy it, the next clip you'll see of us probably at a service station somewhere. So as you can see, I bought it. By far and away, probably this is probably the cheapest car I've ever bought. It's an absolute shed. I'm going to run through everything that's wrong with it as we go. But there's a lot wrong with it, but it was cheap enough that I kind of can't argue with it. I paid £300 for this absolute shed. It was definitely not as advertised. It is absolutely filthy, and so to a point where we've stopped at the local supermarket and I've cleaned the steering wheel and all the surfaces. So this is what I bought. It's a 2003 XC90 D5 5-cylinder with 85,000 miles on the clock. It was so cheap. Well, I say it was so cheap. I should probably tell you the price first. It was £300. I paid £300 for it. It was up at £750, but it wasn't as advertised. It was mainly advertised as having a rear main seal leak, and as you can see where it's been parked for a little while, that is definitely true to some degree. Now I posted a XC90 group on Facebook, and they mentioned that it was more likely to be the main core plug, I think it's called, something like that sits behind the flywheel. So I'm going to replace that at the same time as I do the rear main seal, and I may as well do the same both at the same time. One of the main issues that I wasn't told about, aside from the fact that this has the biggest lip on it I've ever seen on a brake disc, when you brake it pulls quite violently to the right, so it's probably got a sticky caliper. But if I show you, I've already bought brake discs and pads for it, which are down there. So I'm going to do the discs and pads. I'll grease up the carriers for the brakes, and we'll see if that fixes it. If not, I'll whack a caliper on it. Obviously, all the damage down the side, that wasn't mentioned either. I mean, it's done 185,000 miles, so I'm not surprised it's got a lot of damage. This mirror here is broken. Well, I don't know what's going on with this, because the glass itself is stuck in, but when you press the motor on the inside, it does work. So that's kind of weird. Go to the inside. Immediately, I noticed this tweeter is missing. I have got the tweeter. Goes there. It's broken on the back, so I need to get a replace one of those. Interior wise, yeah, these A-pillar trims, both sides, are falling apart. Just about make it out on this side. So they also need replacing. We've got can't really tell on the camera, but yeah, look, the headlights are foggy. There's a little bit of damage on this side as well. It has got 4 new tyres, so there is that. A little bit of trim here. It is the filthiest car I've ever seen. So the guy clearly didn't wash this at any point. Yeah, look, green in here. It's like all the way down all of the rubber seals. But there we go. That's the exterior pretty much. It's got a tow bar already. I haven't tested the electrics yet, but I will be testing that. For those who didn't know, these have a sort of split tailgate, which is kind of nice. Pull on the handle here, and that opens all the way down. As you can see, the interior is just as filthy as the exterior. He clearly couldn't be bothered to clean it before putting it up for sale. So one of the first things I'm doing with this is giving it a good scrub, because it needs it. The load cover, as you can see, has bad on it. So that was clearly kept outside at some point. So that's going to need a good scrub as well. This is a 7-seater, so you can see the 2 seats under there folded down, and the 2 back seats there, and then the 2 front seats in front of that. Go in the back first. So I've had to buy oil. I had to put in 2 litres to drive the under 200 miles it was to get home, which is an absolute pain. But the rear doesn't look in too bad a condition. It's just dirty. I think everything works. All the windows worked from the front switch anyway. But if we go into the front, let's start with the driver's door. This doesn't stay open at any point. So if I open this here, we're on a slightly downward slope, no hand here, it just opens all the way. Nothing, there's no, so normally there's notches in there, that stops it opening. Yeah, this just goes all the way, it doesn't stop. Let's put the key in. Yeah, ripped seats there. I think the other side is ripped as well. Yes, I bought an air freshener because it absolutely stinks in here. Yeah, one bolster there. See the interior trim down here, all coming off. Headline is pretty good though, which is one of the things I got told these suffer with. So turn it on. So speaking of the windows, yep, that needs greasing, but it works. That one works. Again, probably needs greasing. Passenger side? Oh, no, that's passenger back. Passenger side? Yep, no problem. Driver's side? Absolutely nothing. Driver's side mirror? Absolutely nothing. I suspect there's no power to the door, but the indicator, which on these sits in the door itself, does work. So it's clearly got some power. Let's hop in. So on the MOT, it was down as having misty shocks, so I need to sort that out. And the front brakes, which I already knew about. We've got an engine management light. Not 100% sure what that's for yet. I think I can turn this on a little bit more. If I start it, we've got an orange triangle there, and then that screen doesn't really work very well. I'll put in a separate video I took of this because it's not working currently. I don't think it's working currently, but apparently this is classic Volvo screens. Yeah, it's doing something, it's just not showing me what I want to see. So I'll have to, I'll put that other video in. terms of interior, again, very dirty, very worn. You can see here. But I do have a car phone with more filth underneath it. We've got mini disc. Apparently there's a sat nav in there. I've not worked out how to get that out yet. It apparently has aircon. That doesn't work, unsurprisingly. We have got a mini disc in here with some random tracks on it. The cruise control does work, which is kind of nice. I have cleaned the steering wheel. That's the only thing I've cleaned. A couple of other interior bits. So this is clearly, I think, yeah, looking at the other side, this is supposed to have a trim piece around it. So what's happened is this is completely disintegrated. This isn't on the MOT, so I'm fairly sure this has never had a legit MOT. Not while this has been frayed anyway. And then the other thing to note here is if I pop this into reverse, back up a little bit, there we go, then if I pop this handbrake on, so in these it's a foot lever down there, I have to properly put some effort in here to get that light to come on, and then it doesn't stay on. So clearly that's not doing anything. I pop it into park, come off the brakes, you'll see me move, we then rock. Now I'm in park. If I take this out of park and take my foot off the brake, bearing in mind I haven't released the handbrake at all, we then just roll down the drive. So the handbrake is doing nothing. And if I pull the lever here to release it, the camera pans around, there we go. If I pull this to release it, nothing happens. So the handbrake doesn't work. See, now it's clicking. Pull it again, and it's popped up. But if I pop this down and then come, we're in neutral this time, and then come off the foot brake, nothing happens. So the handbrake doesn't work. Don't know whether the microphone will pick that up, but yeah, look, I'm barely yeah, there's something going on with the power steering. Unless I hold this firmly, if I hold this lightly, look, it just wants to wiggle. So there's something going on with the power steering on this thing. And then one other thing. So let's hit lock. So I'll show you so you see there, indicators flashed. It's locked. We go to the driver's door. It's not locked. But in addition to this, the last time I did this anyway, the alarm went off because the indicator was flashing. It doesn't want to lock now. Interesting. So last time I did this, the indicator flashed on me to tell me that the alarm was working, but there was no sound. So there we go. That's everything wrong with the Volvo. It's a lot more than I thought it was going to be, but I therefore paid a lot less for it. So I'm going to do a video soon on fixing everything. We're starting with the core plug and the rear main seal. I'm going to pop down to see my friend Connor. Box out, flywheel out, all that sort of stuff. We'll cover all that on here. I'll cover everything else that I'm doing as well, but I'll probably start by cleaning it so it's nicer to touch. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, everyone. Let me know what you think. If there's anything else I should look out for, that sort of thing, just let me know.